All right, so thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, stick around. We're on our way to 5,000 subscribers. When we hit 5,000, we're going to do a big giveaway. Sell cameras, hint, hint, wink, wink. What we're talking about today is some of the things that we'll be giving away. So this is our series on kind of rating and ranking the features and the cameras that came out this year. We'll do it for the ones that come out next year throughout the spring and summer as well. Today we're looking at a pretty popular one because of how unique it was, the Revolver 360 camera. I got this immediately when it came out. I actually had to buy it online, have it shipped. I got it in the woods immediately. I've done a few other videos on it, kind of my first impressions. This one is after I've used it for what, 6 months, maybe 5, 7 months, somewhere in that ballpark. So I've had some time with this camera. So my review on this, I try to be pretty neutral, you know, as far as like the flash range, detection range, trigger speed. That stuff, I'm pretty neutral. I think I'm pretty fair on that. Pic quality, video quality, maybe there's some bias in there just on like what I've seen in other things, and you can leave a comment and let me know. I'm just basing this off of what I'm seeing, and I'll include pictures and videos so you can kind of review it as well. So very neat camera, 360-degree detection range, 360-degree pictures or videos. Now it is individual pictures of that area, and it's going to put it on the app, and it's got some neat ways of doing it. It can do one big picture, or it can take just a picture in that zone, so that is kind of neat. This camera would be a cool camera if you truly just don't know where the deer are coming from. If you don't know where they're coming through this area and you just kind of want to throw a camera up to see if you can catch them, this camera gives you that ability because it is going to look every direction. So let's get into it. Stealth Cam Revolver 360. It's a $150 camera. I think there is a Pro that's $200 or vice versa. This is the MSRP on it. It's $150. That does put it in the ballpark with like the Edge 2 Pro, the Reveal 3 Pro. So I mean, you're talking some of the higher end, better cameras. This puts it in that ballpark with them. So looks very cool looking bow. It's got very cool looking camera. It has a 4 for looks. They did a good job making it look like a tree, like bark, and kind of blending it in. The app was okay. I wasn't crazy about it. It was a little hard to get to the settings, to find the pictures, to do all that stuff. Sometimes I would request an HD picture, would never come through. Sometimes I would request an HD video, it would never come through. Some of them did, and would still charge me, even though my plan was supposed to include some HD. It still said I would have to pay like 20 cents. And like I said, it was kind of, I didn't like the flow of it, but if I used it for a year or two, maybe it would grow on me. But compared to Reveal and Moultrie, it was below them as far as app goes. So that probably ought to be like a 2.5 or something, but we'll be generous and give it a 3 on that. Price, I'll give it a 3. Again, I want to bump it down because it's in the ballpark with the higher end ones. It's that 150 and up. That price range is going to be your higher end cameras, and for what you get, I don't know that it deserves to be there. Leave a comment and let me know, but we'll give it a 3 because you do get the 360 feature. If this camera was just a normal camera you put on a tree and point it down a trail or towards a scrape, it shouldn't be $150. It should be $80 or $90, and you'll see why, I think. Pic quality. I was disappointed in the pic quality. If 7's the baseline, 7 is like what you should get, what you should expect. 7's the baseline. The pic quality to me is a 6, okay? And there's some other reasons why. We'll get to that in a second, but if you downloaded a picture, you swiped up on your app, and you looked at the image quality, it just wasn't, the pixels, it wasn't as good as other cameras in that same $150 price point. So to me, I can't give you a 7 or an 8 if another $150 camera is producing better quality pictures, and that's just fact. That's not me trying to skew it. It's looking at the actual image quality from what's downloaded to your phone. Not talking about what it says on the box. If the box says 40 megapixels, ignore that. We're talking about what is sent to your phone. We buy, sell cameras, have them sent to our phone. I don't care that the box says it's a 100 megapixel camera. It's not. That's not what we're doing. We're not pulling cards on these, at least. That's not the purpose of them. So pic quality, not great. Video quality, I thought was even worse. I'm hitting it with a 5. Again, I think 7's the baseline. I think 7's what you should expect out of a camera. Again, this is a $150 camera, so comparing the pic and video quality to other $150 cameras, it's not there. It's just not there. We can put them side by side. I'll do side by side testing in other videos. I don't think it's there. I think if you watch the videos and pics, you will agree if you're comparing them side by side. Now, if all you own is a Stealth 360 camera, if that's the only cell camera you've ever had, you might be happy with it. You might go, I think it's good. And that's okay. It's your money. Do what you want with it. But when you put it in the $150 ballpark and you say 7's a baseline, the picture and video qualities are just not there. Skipping down to features, I'm giving it a 3, and really, it should again be a 2, but the fact it does 360, you go bump it up to a 3. It has GPS, it has solar, ability to add solar. That's it. It has 360 degree. That's it. It's all it does. It has low glow flash, so it actually, the deer can see the red or whatever a little bit. So on a high pressure deer, this wouldn't be a great camera for that. It needs live aim. It's 360 degrees. It is hard to aim it and make sure that like all sides are seeing and where the sensitivity is. It really needs that. It needs a no glow flash. Again, it's $150. The Reveal is going to come with no glow flash. The Reveal 3 Pro and the Edge 2 Pro are $150. They're going to come with no glow flash. So if I'm going to pay $150, why wouldn't I get these features? It needs internal memory. I think it has the ability to detect the best cellular network. I think it does that. I think that's good. I probably should add that into the has. But the main thing it has as far as features is it'll do 360 degree pictures and videos. So that's its biggest feature, and that's why it's a 3. If it had internal memory and live aim, I'd probably bump that up to a 4 and almost maybe a 5, because then you're getting a little more bang for your buck. Flash range, 80 feet. It doesn't really advertise it, but if you're having to look and guess, that's the detection range, and most of the time the detection range and the flash range are very similar or the same. So flash range of 80 is not very good, and I think that's why the picture and video quality is not very good, because you don't, at night especially, you don't have enough flash to light up and make the picture or video look good. And this is using low glow flash, meaning it should be better. So for example, your $120 Reveal X 3.0 has a 100-foot flash range and detection range. The Edge 2, which also has low glow, has a 100-foot flash range and detection range. So 20 feet more for a $30 or $40 less camera. So to me that just doesn't make sense. So I'm hitting it with a 2 on flash range. Trigger speed, I'm giving it a 3. It says 0.4. I think it may say like less than 0.4. They're not super specific, but the fact it has to wake up and then spin the camera around, it's really more like 0.7, probably 0.6, because not only does it wake up when it's triggered, but now the camera has to move after, once it wakes up. So that adds time. You can tell it because a lot of times you'll get deer that are out of the frame of the gap between where it takes the pictures. Yeah, it's just not. It's not where it needs to be, and that's just part of the design because of the fact it has one camera that spins around and takes a bunch of pictures. So that's really just the way it's going to have the flaw in that design. But I gave it a 3 on trigger speed. You might argue it should be a 2 because that half a second is kind of where all the cameras are. This one seems a little slower because it has to move the camera after waking up. So the time from detection to picture taken is longer than most. Detection range, again, at 80 feet, that's just not very good. I'm going to give it a 3. I think it's better. The flash range at 80 is not good at all. Detection range at 80 isn't good when you have cheaper cameras, $100 cameras, $120 cameras that have a 100-foot detection range. And this one's coming in at 150 MSRP, and the higher end one I think is 200 or something like that. So detection range is lower than others in the similar price point. Data plan. I'm going to give it a 3. Part of me wants to give it a 2 because it's $20 for unlimited. Again, if you hadn't watched some of the other ones, we're focusing on unlimited data plans. I'm not interested in your beginner plan, your $4, $5 plan that gives me a few pictures a month or something. Most people are going to be going to unlimited, especially during season, and this is a $20 plan as opposed to other companies that are doing $12 unlimited plans. Doesn't make any sense to me. I did the unlimited plan, and I still had to buy pictures and videos, which I think it said you didn't. I think they said were included or some were included or something, and I still had to pay like 20 cents a picture or video. So wasn't crazy about that. Again, it does 360 detection. It will take some pictures of those deer in areas that you didn't know where they're coming from maybe, but it's missing a lot of things for that price. If this is a $100 camera, you go, man, that's not bad. We, you know, that could justify where it's at as far as like 80-foot detection range, lower picture quality, you know, app price, all that stuff would get a little higher score. But at 150 bucks to 200 bucks, that's not very good to me. So I'm hitting it with a 35 overall. I think it's the first generation. Maybe there's some improvements coming. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Have you used this camera? Do you own this camera? What do you think about it? Do you like it? Do you have a bunch of them? I mean, have I got anything wrong? I will not delete comments. I think you have the right to tell me if I'm an idiot, or if you agree, or if you didn't know this or that, or vice versa. I think it's good to have those discussions, and as long as they're pretty civil, I'm all okay with it. So let me know your thoughts on this, where it's coming in. We got a bunch more cameras we're going to be scoring, and at the end of the year, maybe in the spring, before we go into the new camera models for 2025, we'll rack them all up and see where they all panned out as far as best to worst. Again, I'm trying to be non-biased. You know, even some of them, I feel like I'm being pretty generous on some scores, just because I don't want people to say that you're horrible, you're just picking on it or whatever. I think some of these I'm being pretty generous on. So let me know what you think. If you've got this camera, or if you're seeing the pictures and videos that I'm overlaying, what are your thoughts on you know, the image quality, the video quality, the detection range, the night. You know, it does spook some deer. I've had some deer spooked with that. I know all cameras will spook some deer occasionally, but this one, if you remember back when I bought it, you could actually see and hear the motor turning, and I knew from the get-go, I said, I don't like this. I think it's going to spook some deer. After a little while, I finally put it in video mode, where I was like, I want to see if deer are detecting this, and if what the reaction is when it goes off. And you know, I had a lot of them. You know, I didn't have a lot, but I had some deer that were sure enough bolting when it went off. And this is private land. This isn't public land. They're not high pressured at all. I stay out of there. Hence why I run all these cell cameras. And it was definitely spooking some deer. So. First generation, maybe there's some new stuff coming on it, but it didn't. I don't think the score on this one is great, but it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts. Like, subscribe, stick around. Check out my eBay store. Check out bowcrew.com. Use TripleRWoods 20 at checkout. Thank you.